Hi, Auntie.
Hi.
Um, so this is basically for the Women's Day. Uh, when you think about your professional life and personal life, when you had them both, right, back then, how did you balance the two? What were the kind of sacrifices or compromises that you had to make sure both of them went without much hassles?
See, actually, I belong to a normal middle class family, and my interests when I was brought up were just watching movies, going to the beach, buying sundal, tenga manga patani, all this having a great ball of time with my parents, standing in the waves, and small pleasures mattered a lot in those days because as children we were all not aware of the technical advancement and we were not computer based in our approach towards studies or other aspects of life. We enjoyed whatever came our way. We loved going to theatres to watch movies. First day, first show release. If it ran for 100 days, it was a great hit. So we went for the last 100th day. My mother was a movie maniac, I should say. We saw all the Tamil movies, we saw the English movies, Hindi movies, and she inculcated the basic music sense in me. And she was a brilliant singer. I would say she was on par with P. Sushila, unfortunately. Or maybe, as fate would have it, she got married very early and she gave birth to all of us, 3 children, and she became a wonderful housewife plus a classic cook. Nobody can beat my mother's mendi kodumbu or jeera mulagu rasam or those arsi upma. These things are morkili, things made by my mother. I have not tasted after she reached the abode of gods. I really miss her, and I feel all of us should have a great mom like her. My childhood is surely unforgettable, and I keep thinking day in and day out. I don't hang their pictures, my father or mother. I keep them on a chair, and I feel they are always with me, both of them, around me, guiding me, supporting me, advising me, and making me feel good even when I'm going through tough times. And too much maybe I'm asking for because that's the norm of this world, but I want my parents always with me. My personal and professional life were kind of interconnected, yet they were different in terms of personal life was with a very well reputed, high class, socially aware and an entertainment oriented, thoughtful family. It had education and entertainment in it. My mother-in-law was an educationist and my father-in-law was an entertainer along with my husband. And I went into a company called Air India. In fact, my mother-in-law was responsible for me applying for that company, but I got through by sheer merit, and I was one of the 5, or among the 25, the first 5 to be chosen to work for the company, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. My professional life gave me a lot of exposure to the outside world. I got to see various kinds of people. I got to come across a lot of aspects of what should be done and what should not be done. And I also came across a lot of world of different genres. Like I used to come across a dancer, I used to come across a musician, I used to come across a professional, an IT company person, like that I came across a lot of people. Once I had two ladies sitting in front of my counter in Air India when I was working. I was issuing their tickets, and I was quickly writing out their tickets. Those days we used to write tickets for people traveling outside the country or even domestic. So that time when I was writing, she suddenly asked me, that lady, "Do you know, Amma, who we are?" So I said, "Sorry, I don't know. I know only you as my passengers." So she said, "We are Ranga Rao's daughters. The greatest artist ever born, in my opinion, Ranga Rao. The majestic Ranga Rao's daughter." You know what I did? I just left that pen with which I was writing my ticket. I got up and I saluted them like a soldier. Because, and the day I heard the news that Mohammed Rafi had passed away, I just got up from my seat. There used to be a section called telephone sales. So on the telephone we used to have reservations. So we used to sit on a system, write, and then get the tickets organized and things like that. So I left it like that and I went home. I didn't even inform my boss that I'm leaving because I was so shaken by that news. Mohammed Rafi, the greatest musician ever born. There can be only one Mohammed Rafi, there can be only one Shivaji Ganesan, there can be only one Nagesh, and there can be only one Kannadasan. And that's my opinion, thanks to my husband. He has inculcated it in me. So this is what I can say my professional life was. But what I would say is I had to balance between entertainment as well as education, as well as my own travel. That's what it was called. So I used to balance between all the three, and I learned a lot by doing this, because this balancing act is what I was a very timid girl brought up by my parents. Very timid, soft spoken. I used to get scared to even answer questions. But what I learned when I entered this family was, I learned to be bold. I learned to be strong. I learned to sort of back answer also if required. And not that I learned to be impertinent, not to be impatient also. I learned a lot as to when to speak loud, when to speak soft. So, because there was no girl in their family, I was treated like a daughter, and I was treated with a lot of compassion, care, concern. All this came into their dealing with me. They understood my problems. At the same time, I understood what they expected out of me, and I behaved accordingly. So this is as simple as, I won't call it simple. It might sound difficult, but I managed to make it simple. Facing challenges is what we learn basically from our own household and upbringing. The point is, I saw my mother, who wanted to be a great doctor, who wanted to be otherwise a lawyer or a big accountant. She had a passion to study. Unfortunately, she could not. But when she brought us up, she gave us that fortitude that we required to face life as it comes. One day, my father brought an air conditioner home. She said, "Just take it back." You know why? She said, "You are getting our children used to air conditioners. What if they get into a household which does not have it?" Those days, to have an air conditioner at home was a luxury. To have a phone at home was a great, admiration by others, because 81258 was our first phone. Phone vandirthu. My mother came running, which looked like, my God, this was something which nobody has, only we have. So I learned all this from my mother, that courage or that enthusiasm, that joy, that fortitude, that valor, and that passion towards what we like or what we love. She taught us. She taught us to face this as well as that. That is, face profit and loss, success and failure, and made us feel good at every stage, whether we had something or did not have something. See, that is what is very important in an upbringing, I feel. My children also have to be like that, I thought, because whether we have something or we don't have something, we should learn to face it boldly and accept it with a lot of happiness, not become sad about it or feel very discouraged or feel very discontented or feel very, no, I'm a very unfortunate human being, things like that. My mother never taught me. So everything boils down to my one word, A-M-M-A, Amma. With Amma it begins, with Amma it runs, with Amma it survives, and with Amma it will end. The current generation of girls and women are not living in a world that we faced, that we experienced, that we felt good about. They are all technically advanced, everything is machine oriented, and really that give and take attitude, or that if it's there, it's okay. If it's not there, it's not okay. It's okay. For both it was okay for us. But for this generation, they feel if it's not there, oh, I'm very deprived and I'm discontented and I'm unhappy. That should not be there. The current generation should be happy that you have so much of technical advancement and so much at your fingertips. Nothing has to, you have to go and seek in this world. It's all coming to your house. It's all coming to your doorstep, including of your online education. See, we all had a school education where we faced our teachers, we faced our colleagues, and we faced our superiors, our headmistress, our peons, our ayahs. We knew each one's value. And we knew that for our survival, we have to look at their lives and understand how much is required, how much is not required. But in today's world, the generation, I'm sorry, is not aware to a great extent about all these matter of benefits, all these things that really benefit them or that will help them in their lives in future. I want the current generation to experience all this joy. Technical advancement is all there, but it becomes very machine oriented. I want feelings to be exchanged. I want people to have emotions exchanged and love exchanged, hatred not felt to that extent, and a feel good situation about everything that you do or even don't do. Learn to appreciate others. Learn to appreciate elders. Learn to respect elders, which is most important. In a joint family, those days, we used to have all the elders living together. So much so, we will know ஒரு சின்ன குழந்தையிலேருந்து ஒரு வயசான தாத்தா வரைக்கும் we knew how to treat each one. That's not here today. The parents are working, children are rushing, they come back, they want to make their food fast, they want to do the homework fast, double, eat, sleep, get up, go. This should not be the attitude. So, children, please learn to interact with parents, interact with your colleagues, interact with your elders in particular who expect that much little from you. Their expectation is very little. They may be repetitive in what they keep saying, but be kind to them. Be a noble, learn to give noble gestures towards them and learn to face them with love and affection. Be good children. be great citizens of tomorrow's world.